need to get some rest, but I need your seed.
Why?
Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, Bo. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here. At
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
Where have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
This was
and
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. And sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
There was mouth stuff.
That came out wrong, sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Death
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack
now.
him across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first one to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Indigo Connect, and hey.
Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinker Bell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart, adventure and treasure buried in sand. Time held its breath, in Neverland. But darkness fell on the island fair. A sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one. No respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered. Those left behind, broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight. Then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost. To build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two. Healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
Hey, welcome. It is Friday night, and it is time for Little Dungeons and Dragons here on Indigo Chameleon. We hope everybody is having a great night. Pew, 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 pew. We hope everybody's having a great night tonight. I'm going to move Cal over here and Clip over here. And we're gonna fix this. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on the night. Hello.
Guys, I'm Cal now.
Look at me. I am the new Cal. Kyle Wren, welcome. Hello. Thanks for tuning in, gang. As I mentioned before, we have a Discord. Come and hang out with us. We'd love to have you there. You can find cool stuff like memes and pictures of Moswell dabbing. Great cool stuff that you're gonna absolutely love and adore. There's also a merch store. It's pretty great. There's cups, there's prints, there's t-shirts, there's all sorts of lovely, awesome, fun things there. And anything that you get there helps kind of keep the lights going here on the channel, so it's pretty sweet. Upcoming schedule for this week. There's a lot of stuff going on this week because we're all bored.
Fair. Valid.
Fair. Hey, Alcaboo's Bender. What's up?
Hey,
Chocolate! Baby Ruth. Hi, buddy. Tomorrow night, there's nothing going on here, but you can always go watch Icky V. She's got her own D&D stream going on. I will be over at Random Encounter Productions for their 2-year anniversary show. They are doing shows all this weekend and stuff like that, and they're doing an RPG based off of Dragon Age. For anybody who's ever played those video games, it's a brand new RPG system, and I'm terrified, but we'll see how it goes. It's just me rolling dice and pretending like I know what I'm doing, like every week. I won't tell. So that's tomorrow night.
I will.
Oh no. What have I done?
Jig is up.
It's Zuli. Hi. Welcome. And now it is a baby. And so that is Saturday night. On Sunday night, we do a continuation of the one shot that we had the other day, also set in Neverland. It's a brand new group of heroes that are going around, and they are dealing with the machinations of a cult trying to bring about the end of the world. So it's a lot of fun. Come in and join this brand new group of adventurers. If you're familiar with the Orlando theater scene, there's some familiar faces there as well. So it'll be fun. That's Sunday. Monday. Do we have it? No?
Not at this point.
Not at this point, but maybe, because we're bored. Tuesday night, we go to Wonderland. It's going to be great fun. Indigo Chameleon will kind of be there, as at the end of last week's episode, she sold her soul to Mab, the Queen of Air and Darkness, in order to get more power because she wants to kill a god. And unbeknownst to her, she got yeeted from existence. But Mab is there.
Tuesday night.
Wait, from existence?
Mab is there wearing a Thoey disguise, and everybody thinks everything is great. So it's gonna be chaos.
I don't know what's happening.
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Everything's fine.
She's
my more responsible character.
It's true.
Okay.
Don't tell the Wonder Group. Don't tell the Wonder Group. all of Wonder, every single episode has just been a weird dream that Thistle's having after she ate the scorpion. Yeah, like
That makes
Oh,
sense.
jeez.
yeah. Face Off the sequel. Bum, bum, bum. Hello, Indigo Jima. Hello, and Aquabus Bender. Yes.
Me looking at every single decision Thoey has ever made. Yeah, responsible.
I just said my most responsible character. I never said responsible. I need to be clear on this.
The kicker there was your character.
Was.
Was?
She's not your character anymore, is what Ryan is. Anyway,
But-
so that's Tuesday.
But
And then Thursday we go back to the Lost Isle.
Ryan's Thoey now.
Where the group is a time traveling, sort of a mixture of time travel and D&D and sci-fi and all that fun stuff. Last week I had the group swallowed by a giant mimic that was disguised as a cab. It was so much fun. That was just driving around with everybody in the cab, and then it was great.
it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. We had a plesiosaurus running around New York City. So it was some good times. So that's on Thursday, which will take us back around to Neverland. So speaking of Neverland, I think that's it for announcements. I haven't missed anything. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? Any projects that you're working on and things of that sort? Garrison, tell us a little bit about your podcast. People are looking to entertain themselves. What can they listen to?
If you're looking to entertain yourself, if you go on to Spotify, Stitcher, or your Apple podcasting app and look up Into the Vault, I do a show on there where we basically do a deep dive into old forgotten Disney movies. I recently did a mini-sode on The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It was me by myself. It was great. I was trying to talk to myself for 20 minutes straight. Good stuff. Normally I talk to myself for hours on end, so this was only a snippet of that. I tried to design a ride for all these old movies and bring up some trivia and fun facts, and it's a good time. Into the Vault.
Good. Tune into that if you're looking to entertain yourself. So I think that's it for projects. Clip. Yes. Hottie.
If you're done with Lost Isle, after Lost Isle is done, you are having a panic attack because Billy always puts you in those. You can come over to Random Encounter where I will be playing a space deer, and we are on an island where bugs are wearing other bugs, and it's disgusting, and it's lots of fun.
It was the weirdest Disney movie they ever made.
Island of Bugs.
Yeah, the sequel.
Bugs wearing bugs.
Bugs wearing bugs.
Bugs like to prehistoric Boogaloo.
Apparently.
Yes. Good. Once upon a time in Neverland, the group of heroes found themselves in a very strange place as they had left the remnants of the armory of the gods behind them. They were traveling back to where their journey had started, but instead took a tiny bit of a detour when they discovered what appeared to be fireworks in the night sky. Over them was Dole's Funland and Playground of the Soul, or Difflipuffs. They immediately pulled the car over, or ship. They pulled the ship over and proceeded to walk up to the front gate, and like any true employee of a theme park's nightmare, demanded to be let in for free because do you know who I am?
But did it work?
It did, much to the detriment of every theme park employee ever. Once again, they were let in because they knew who they were. Upon entering in, they were treated to. Some of them chose to explore Desba High, and Thistle in particular went and hung out in Barland, which was a land of perpetual bar fights, and proceeded to whoop the living crap out of everybody in the bar, dominating everyone totally. They bypassed H2O, the water park portion. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Garrison. They skipped past H2O and instead got into a fight in Happy Land, choosing to explore some of the areas of their past it was revealed to the rest of the group, for those that did not know, that Cal's father, previous body's father, I should reiterate, was Hook. So the group was like, he's the worst pirate that ever lived. This should have been brought to our attention yesterday. And Cal was like, well, yes, but what's over here? And Cal Cal has left the group, leaving some of the group to talk about what is next, as some of them have decided to possibly at some point head over to Spooky Corner. It is a portion of the park that is made up of undead beings where you can kind of fight and hone your new skills. There's also a thrill ride there called the Haunted House in Spooky Corner, because they can't all be gold, kids. They can't all be gold. So as Cal has left the group, Clip, Eris, Dez, Slowpoke, and Thistle, Cal sort of tried to cool off a little bit. The rest
socially distance myself.
Cal is socially distancing himself from everyone in the party, both with his words and his literal actions.
I forgot to watch it.
I can't watch one.
You can't.
Ow, 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 ow.
I'm socially conscious. So what are the rest of you doing? I would say right now it's about midday. You just had a big bomb dropped on you, but there are still portions of the park to explore, and plenty of food stands and souvenir
I want to go to the haunted skeleton place. They're some of my best friends. I mean, I don't know if I know these ones, but I have a lot of skeleton friends.
Yeah.
Zombie friends. Undead friends.
Undead friends.
I'm also good at scaring them.
How do you scare an undead person?
I don't know, but I just did.
You become a cleric where you have the literal ability to explode undead.
Yeah, I did. I didn't explode them though.
Thistle, like any child amidst a grown-up conversation, just starts slowly backing away from the group, turning tail and following the signs, the carefully marked signs leading her to Spooky Corner. What are the rest of you doing? I don't think she's hiding any of this. So, hi, Milady Psycho.
I just said all of those things I said.
Well, I guess if we're going to Spooky Corner, we might as well go to Spooky Corner.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I follow the small one, who's not smaller than me. I am 12.
I am too. We are now the same age.
For the first time in a long time,
Whoa.
Slowpoke and Thistle are at the same sort of level.
Aww.
Yeah. But I'm a little taller.
What?
Are you?
Yeah.
You're a little taller? Maybe.
Both,
I don't know.
Both of you roll a d20.
Yeah.
A straight d20. Whoever rolls higher is a tiny bit taller.
It's
16.
I got a 16 too.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. We're the exact same height.
You're the exact same height. That's the only way.
No, what you're forgetting is he has slower pokes.
Slower pokes on my head, and he sticks his head up a little bit.
I stick Scritch on my head.
You have two Scritch and Scratch.
I have stacked rats.
She stacks rats on her head. You stack a turtle on your head.
I concede.
You didn't have it.
Cool.
As long as I have to go on the good rides.
D&D. Well, the majority of the patrons are children that live here on the island. So luckily, you are both tall enough to be able to ride the rides. The only area that you are not permitted in is Barland, but she managed to go, like, do you know who I am? And
No,
managed
because we had the wristbands.
You do? Okay, so...
Get you into bar.
While we all are heading that way, I'm assuming, I want to kind of like grab Eris, like kind of pull her back a bit.
Okay.
So Loki, haven't heard that name before.
Hang on. Are you saying a god's name out loud, Clip?
Yes.
Got it.
Cool.
Keep going. Give me an Arcana check, Clip.
Sure.
I have been burned by this so many times.
Six.
A 6. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep, continue.
Cool. Thanks. I have become Greek gods, not Norse ones. So like.
So you said
I'm sorry, the rules of theology only apply to the Greek gods. Everyone else is excluded. Thank you.
I don't know. Is there? Are there other, like, in that book? Were there? Is that name in that book?
Clip, you're operating under the assumption that you know who Loki is.
I just said I've never heard that name before.
Mm-hmm. How do you...
So, no.
That name wasn't mentioned, was it?
you did say it.
Yeah, you said it.
Did he say it?
He didn't.
It was internalized.
I don't say that thing.
So, who was the handsome guy that you were talking to in your vision?
So I didn't say God's name out loud because I don't know the name. But just asking you, like, are you okay?
I have never. I didn't remember who my dad was.
Do you remember now?
Well, yeah, clearly that's probably one of the first. Well, that's not completely true. That's probably the second thing I've learned about my past.
What was the first?
Well, do you remember Hylock?
I remember Hylock, and I remember him telling you that y'all had a deal. And I meant to talk to you about that, but you just haven't had the time.
Yeah. So he put a bubble around us before we left, or were about to leave the island. Hylock is not an old man. Hylock is a tiefling that I apparently have known in my past, who I guess used to be my lover. He gave me this and told me that he loved me. And I don't know. I don't know why, but apparently I ran away from him to try and figure out something. So I don't know how to fully feel about him. And those are the two things I know about my tiefling self.
She just takes your hand and squeezes it. Says, "We'll figure it out."
I've been writing him letters. It's just in my journal. Nothing specific other than just what's been going on and just speaking how I feel. I don't know if I'll ever get to share them with him, and I don't know if that's a good idea either, just because I don't know how to fully feel about him.
I'm sure at some point he will reappear and tell us to go to another boat race that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
William will remember this.
Ophelia loves them. Clem is like, what are we doing? And why are we here?
But yeah, I think I'm okay. It's hard to wonder how people from your past truly feel about you. From the memory of my father, it wasn't like it felt like he loved me, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what he really felt towards me. So I think that that's a little hard to take in currently.
A lot of confusing. Feelings are very cute. So having a lot of them lately.
Same. Shall we go?
And I love you very much.
I love you too, Clip.
You guys keep heading forward past some of the rides. Off in the distance, you see the screams and the unmitigated joy that seems to echo out from H2O as children get on several water slides that seem to be carved into a large rock structure. The first and foremost, at the very front of H2O, as you all pass, seems to be an enchanted fountain that seems to be squirting individuals with water as you all walk past and things of that sort, as a throwback to a forgotten era. You walk past the fountain and find yourselves immediately crossing into the threshold of this very different area as compared to the rest of the park, where light seems to permeate through the clouds. It doesn't matter what the weather's like outside. Spooky Corner, immediately as you cross a thin white line that's been drawn on the ground in front of you, with Thistle leading the charge. Thistle, as you cross over, it is immediately night. The weather changes somewhat abruptly, and the figures that you saw, employees that seem to be wearing regular clothes from the other side of the line, as you cross the threshold, take on ghastly images. You see what looks to be various zombies, various undead fare, and things of that sort. Cal, I do need to establish, while these guys were headed for this area, were you also headed in this direction via a roundabout way? Or are you taking some more time by yourself?
I was more just wanted to get there just away, and then when I was there, I'd probably just walk around and just blow off steam from it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So this will work for you too. Before you all, the central point in this particular land is a large, stately manor. It seems old. The wood is somewhat broken and battered by time, and you see quite a few individuals queued up alongside of the house. Looking like they're heading in through the side. Next to the house, you see an incredibly large, it looks to be like a wagon of sorts. However, there's like a couple of like ghost horses at the front of the wagon. The wagon is open. Those of you might recognize, I don't think anybody would. You would have no idea what this wagon was used for, but it looks large enough to fit a few people inside, and it looks large enough to fit a large rectangular box inside. Should it be needed?
Like something that you could just go sit in because it's fun?
You can't sit in it because the two doors to the wagon are open, and there is what looks to be a woman in a spectral woman, a ghost woman, if you would, in a long flowing white dress, holding an axe at her side, with a large rectangular box that's open. And children and adults are coming up to her with tickets in hand, and it looks to be an exchange of the tickets and some of the items that are inside the box. Okay, so you have those are the two central areas. There's also a pond, a little area of water with a light fog rolling off of it, where some people are gathered and they seem to be just sitting next to the pond. And occasionally, animals come out of the mist of the pond and visit with the people, and then go back into the pond itself. Does that make sense? Like fog pouring out of a pond, people go and sit down, and they seem elated to sit down next to this pond as animals leave the mist of the water, different animal spectral forms, and then enter back into the pond.
Is there a long line to get to this lady with the box? Never mind, I have a wristband.
Boom! It's just like backstage pass. She doesn't speak. but before you is a veritable cornucopia of items. The items that you see in front of you have different prices on them. Each one labeled, and as children come up, you see many of the children and adults in the area interested in what it looks to be small bottles held up in this coffin. The 3 bottles are motes of spirit, motes of heart, and motes of strength. Each one is a little bottle that you might hold a pixie in, if you were wearing, had a little like pixie necklace and stuff like that. But the motes of spirit are a bright, vibrant blue. The motes of heart are a shimmering red, and the motes of strength are a very vibrant yellow. After spending a bit of time, you realize that these are one-use items. Okay, it is a reaction to use them. You can use them. A mote of spirit allows you to gain 1 level 1 spell slot, but can be combined to regain more spell slots. So if you use 6 motes of spirit, you gain a 6th level spell back. Okay. A mote of heart is anytime healing is done to you, or you drink a healing potion, you can burn a mote of heart to gain an extra 1d6 on top of what you're healing. Okay, those can also be stacked. Okay. The mote of strength is for those interested in more of the damage side of things. Those can be burned and will add a d6 of damage to any damage roll that you make. But it is a burned consumable. Okay?
How much are they each?
20 tickets. The only other thing for sale is what looks to be a rabbit's foot. Above it says Lucky Charm. The rabbit foot phases in and out of existence. And not like ghost phases out, but almost like a flash of electricity. The rabbit's foot isn't there, and then it shows back up attached to a chain. That is 100 tickets. The other 3 items are Think Survivor Auction. 3 baskets. Each 100 tickets each. You don't know what you're going to get. There's only 3 of them. Once they're bought, they're bought. So you always have the option of getting a mote of spirit, a mote of heart, a mote of strength to be used. A lucky charm, which you're not sure what it does. And these 3 mystery baskets. Okay?
And then it's right next to the Haunted Manor.
It's next to the Phantom Manor. Yes.
Phantom Manor.
Yes.
So the lucky charm was how many tickets?
100 as well.
100? Okay, so and the 3 baskets are 100 as well.
The 3 baskets are 100. Yes.
Got it.
Does anybody have any questions? I'm kind of piercing the veil a little bit. Does anybody have any questions on how the motes work, or the lucky charm? You don't know. What's under the baskets? You don't know. But did I explain the motes well enough that you can utilize those to do any number of things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're prizes.
Yes, Slowpoke. Thank you, Carson. I appreciate it.
Do those only work here? Or is that anywhere?
Those will work anywhere. Any of the prizes that you win today can be. You don't just have to be in the park.
Got it.
So other than this spectral form in the large wagon selling prizes from the coffin, there's the lake and then the Phantom Manor itself.
I'm going to the lake.
Okay.
Also need to go to the lake.
Yeah, I figured Clip would go too.
So Clip, Eris, you head over to the lake. Thistle, I assume you're heading inside. Okay.
Who's coming with me?
I'm going inside.
I'm going inside.
Des, Slowpoke, and Thistle are going to try this out first. Cal, I would say that you are far enough away that you've been exploring the area a little bit. You're in a further portion of the park, so the thing in front of you is the lake itself. You also see little stands that sell what looks to be called phantom flavors. Where you come to realize that it looks to be a plain cup of water that this person is selling, but he's selling phantom flavors. You can choose what flavor you'd like, and it's the aftertaste of something you've eaten.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take one of those. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You sip this one. You just say dealer's choice, or do you have something that you're interested in tasting again?
just redoing some rum, something along those lines.
You walk up, and this guy kind of looks at you, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
You're on damn
What are you doing?
Sorry, you cut out.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'd like to go buy one.
No, you employees can't buy. If you're on the job, you cannot purchase.
And flash my wristband. If I wasn't on the job, I wouldn't have this, would I?
Wait, are you actually like a skeleton?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It's shocking, isn't it?
I'm so sorry, sir. They're really cracking down on making sure that we don't. No, that's fair. Welcome, dear soul, to Phantom Flavors. What is it that you would like to taste?
I want the strongest rum you've had. That I've had.
Sure, yeah. And he fills a glass and kind of points a wand at you as he fills this glass with water. As he passes the drink over to you, he goes, "I'm really sorry again," and passes the cup in your direction. As you take a sip of it, it does indeed taste like a very strong, potent rum. And you remember it. This is a rum that you had, a long time ago. It was probably the first time you drank alcohol, where that sharp kick that comes in from like, oh my god, why do people drink this? I better finish the glass. Like, yeah. But you have that phantom flavor.
Just how much was it?
Nothing with the wristband. You're good.
I'll toss him a gold.
Cool.
At least you were doing his job.
He goes, no, we can't accept tips.
It's fine.
No, we really can't accept tips. Could you offer one more time?
And I'll take it and I'll drop it at his feet. Oops, I dropped it. And I'll walk off.
That's the third time I can take this. Thank you so much. Like, he puts it in his pocket and he seems very happy. So yeah. Clip and Eris, as you guys head over to the pond, you see Desbahai, Slowpoke, and Thistle. Thistle dragging Dez by the hand. I was like, we're doing this! Dez and probably Slowpoke into the ride. Clip and Eris, this is an uncomfortable...
I love how Dez is the single mother, and the Mark and her kids just dragging her.
Can we... Well, I think it's funny because it would be like, Dez, can we get candy? And Dez being like, I cannot stress this enough. I don't care.
You what you want.
I am not your parents.
Let's go.
I'm not your mom.
I'm not sure.
I am.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, at this point, this feeling is like from all the awkwardness of Happy Land and all the uncomfortable family tension, she's just not talking to anybody.
Yeah. You have that 1,000-yard stare.
Shut down. She's like, I cannot believe the stuff.
It's at 4 o'clock, like you're really tired of the park and you really could go for a nap. And just everything
Mommy really needs a drink.
Mommy needs a
You two ride the ride. I'm going back to Barland.
Punch somebody just real bad.
We can punch people on the ride.
You can punch people on the ride. You're going to be very happy.
Best ride.
As the two of you head over that direction, Eris and Clip, give me perception checks as you make your way over to this pond where you see people in various stages of elation and...
14.
14.
Mine's a 13.
Yeah, so similar. There are people sitting in the grass, and then there's a little like a path that goes around the pond, and there with little benches and stuff like that on the other side of the bench. You see some people don't want to be on the side of the path that's near the water. Those people are people watching. They're sitting on the benches and they're watching children go up to the water and sit there as animals come out of the water. You even see a few adults of different races go up to the water. Their reaction to the animals that come out of the water are a little bit more intense. With a 13 or 14, like you're just noticing an odd situation happening at the water. Where would you like to go? Are you people watching? Or are we?
How are the people who are watching? How are they reacting to all of this?
A mixture of indifference and happiness.
Okay,
There's
got it.
older couple that's kind of sitting on the bench. You see that what looks to be a dwarven man and a dwarven woman who are just sitting there holding hands and just sort of commenting as the animals come out of the water.
I would want to go like near the water.
Yeah.
I'd follow her lead.
Yeah, they're sitting on the bench and they just sort of like nod at you as you guys walk closer.
Okay, cool. You go near the water and like sit down.
Clip, you sit near the water, and as you're sitting near the water, like I said, there's a light fog that kind of rolls out of the water, almost like it's early morning. Clip, the first one that you see is a wolf come out of the water with gray hair. And you recognize this as one of the wolves from your pack when you were a littles. Come crawling out of the water. Then the realization hits you as you start like sort of looking at the water. This is the rainbow pond. Should you have interacted with a pet at any point in your life and that pet passed, this is a area that allows the pet to come by and say hello. It's a little like, so all of these little kids, all the never kids are like by the water and hanging out. The people watching are like, no, let's let them rest. Let's let them. So, but Clip, as you're by the water, you've interacted with bunches of animals over the years and stuff like that have just come crawling out of the mist and the fog in spectral form and bound around and get down on all fours and sort of push you around. I think at the end of it, you've got 6 or 7 spectral wolves that interact with you. You've got that are just surrounding Clip at this point.
I'm going to like speak in like wolf.
Yeah.
And just say I miss you.
They can't respond, but they nod and they jump and they bounce all about the space. Thank you, Lord Gazuba and King Pashman. Thank you, Akabu Spender for gifting those subscriptions. But they begin to bounce and bound around the area. Eris, as you're sitting there, you are kind of like noticing all these wolves kind of come out of the woodworks and stuff like that and bounce around. Clip. And you're into it, and then all of a sudden, a giant moose comes out of the mist.
Oh
no! And the moose comes over to where you are, Eris, and just kind of like nudges your shoulder a little bit, and
oh, buddy. That's so sad.
and pushes against your shoulder, and then just kind of like flops its head on your lap, as you're sitting on the grass.
Twice Billy's baby crying, Neverland.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but just kind of
I just like the picture of like people coming out like like dogs and cats and like bunny rabbits and we
big
moose. Wolf and moose.
Yeah.
Plop. Can I feel him?
Yeah, absolutely.
I scratch behind his ears.
Yeah, you scratch behind his ears, and there's a familiarity there. Like, you know what I mean? There's a even though you never really hung out with Who Dat Moose,
no,
you feel a strong connection to Dat Moose.
Oh, you have no idea.
You guys spend time up by the water. I think and we'll come back to you guys as you guys spend a pleasant few hours next to the rainbow pond, and watch as all of these pets come back and get to revisit with their peoples for a brief period of time. So let's head back inside the mansion. Cal, you would have seen Des Baha'i being unceremoniously pulled towards this area. Are you? You would have also seen Clip and Eris. Are you still kind of like flying solo for a bit?
The thing is, like, he's not. I think after the drink and stuff along those lines, and he had a moment to relax, I think he would just casually like go into the house. Like, he wouldn't make a big fuss and just follow.
Yeah, sure. All right. Welcome to the Phantom Manor. Phantom Manor, as soon as you enter into the space, you are issued forth into a circular room.
Do I have to move to the dead center?
No, they actually push you towards like the open door.
Also, there's one door, but how many windows?
No doors, no windows, one door. As you make your way through the door, you enter into another circular chamber, and in this room, they shove you towards the dead center of the room.
That makes sense. Okay.
The doors, the one door in closes, and you hear a voice over the speakers. This voice comes forth and says, "You make choices in your life.
It's true.
Choices to do good and choices to do evil."
Mostly good.
You see somebody like an annual pass holder that's like, shh.
Like in the back reciting.
Yeah. They're wearing merchandise. Yeah.
You're gonna put me in the game.
They have weird devil horns that have like the eyes on the
Cast member exclusive. The voice continues. Upon entering into your cart, your first choice of the evening must be made. There are 3 options. A simple joyride through the sights and sounds that I present before you. A more challenging experience. Or a hellish one.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
And as he says this, the doors open up in front of you. Following in front of you seems to be these. There's no other way to describe them than like little buggies, as they are continually move forward.
Buggies of doom.
Buggies of doom, if you were. There's enough. There are 2 seats available, like 2 rows available. But as groups come up, you see a very frantic-looking half-elf man going, "How many? How many in your group? How many in your group? Okay, 3. How many in your group? Okay, move over here." And as he goes, "How many in your 3? Okay, move over there." And he sends you over to a cart that is already in motion, a buggy. Cal, you are not far behind as you hear a, "How many in your group?" One. Okay. Single rider. And they just kind of yell it out, and they give you your own doom buggy. As you turn around a corner.
Wait, before we get in, because they're going, I'm like, we're taking the maximum, right? Because if not, I can go by myself.
Yeah, we've already been to hell. It'll be easy.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
Sure.
That means more. So many points.
Yep, it's true. So as you sit down in your seat, the 3 paths illuminate in front of you, and you see sort of a green path, a yellow path down the middle, and a red path that goes off to the far right. Thistle, Des, and Slowpoke, give me a perception check.
Not 20.
Nat 20.
That was a 12 plus a 7. 19.
19. Slowpoke.
5.
Nice.
Cal, make yours in advance because they're going to get to this area before you do.
16 plus 5, 21.
21. Des. With a nat 20, you are the only one of your group to see this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a door. There's 3 ride paths that go forward. 1, 2, 3. However, at this stopping point, off to the side behind the cart to the right hand, there is a door. The door has an odd symbol upon the front of it.
Okay.
Okay? The symbol is a skull
Mm-hmm.
that looks very similar to Skull Rock, to Skull Island, and a
Okay.
giant red X through the skull.
I pointed out to everybody.
Cool, let's go.
Sure.
Would you want to go through the ride at least once and then come back to this point? And
Yeah, that's okay
this?
too. Yeah.
Or is this like a 4th ride path? A secret
know.
ride path?
I mean, technically, I guess we could go on all the ride paths.
Before you discover, say, I don't know, the Easter eggs of the ride.
What's that?
Oh, like we just go on the regular scary part of the ride first, and then we
Say
come
it
back
first.
and we go through the door?
Yeah.
That's a good idea too.
Okay.
Let's do that. As we go underneath the signs, I want to use minor illusion, and while we're still within 30 feet of those signs, I want to flip-flop them around so that people who think that they're going on the easy part of the ride are now going to go on the scary one.
How long does minor illusion last?
Well, it lasts for 1 minute, but it's only for 30 feet. So I'm going to be, once I'm 30 feet past those signs, it's going to drop the illusion. But however many buggies go through for that 30 feet, we should be good.
It's going to be the next 2 buggies. So as you guys choose the hardest ride path, Cal, you are presented with 3 paths.
Oh, no.
The easy, the medium, and the hard. Which one do you choose?
On the 21, do I see the door with
I would
the X?
I would say,
If not, that's fine.
Des, what was your perception total with your nat 20?
My perception total was 23.
3.
Oh,
No. I'm sorry,
No.
pal. Like, you're a little
What?
focused on the ride path in front of you.
Which one did I see the signs change?
No.
No.
No, I'm so sorry. Like,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll go with whichever one the people aren't going toward.
you actually don't see anyone. So the way that this is set up, is sort of Cal, give me an Arcana check. This is going to be something that you might appreciate as a Billy DM.
Actually, it's a 19.
You have been wondering how they pull this off. Cal, each of the ride carts, it looks like they pass a certain point, are being sent into their own pocket dimension.
I like that. Yeah.
Dole is a powerful magician, so like each ride cart is sent into its own pocket dimension. So green, yellow, red.
He'll go to yellow.
You go to yellow. You go to the medium path, so it's perfect. You steer the cart towards the medium path, and while the rest of you head towards the red. I would say the annual pass holders are like. He's like, the funny thing about the door is, as he says that, as Cal's cart begins to go forward, and you're like, door? What door? Okay, so Dez and Slowpoke and Thistle, I can't believe you guys are split up, and then Cal, who's also riding solo. I need all of you to give me initiative rolls, please. These initiative rolls will determine your order in and out of the ride, based on your choices.
14.
14. Okay, Cal, hang on. Cal is a 14.
15.
15 for Thistle. 19 for Dez.
14.
14 for Slowpoke. That tracks. Slowpoke. 19 for Dez. Okay. So the first place that you go to seems to be, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'll do this. I'm gonna cut back to Clip and Eris's scene by the park as they hang out by the water for a little bit. Then we are gonna go through this, me narrating what happens with Desbahai, Slowpoke, and Thistle's ride path. Then what also happens with Cal's ride path. Okay, and I'll try to map out these scenes individually as we go forth from there. So, Eris and Clip, what are you guys doing during all of this? You're just kind of hanging out. We're just enjoying the day.
Yeah, I think I would, especially I can probably tell how much Clip is needing this at this moment. So
Yeah.
I would probably be I'd be going off of her cues at this point.
I would basically spend as much time as these wolves are able to be out.
Clip is the person who finds the show or ride that they love the most and just go through it over and over and over again. Like,
it's me.
Like,
wow.
Welcome to Carousel of Progress. This is where I'll be all day. Like, I think Eris, after a bit of time, you are there enjoying.
Yeah, I think, because I would have had my moment with my moose, but I think after that point, I think I would actually take a seat on one of the benches and just watch Clip.
Sure. He heads back.
And enjoy her.
He heads back over to the water and goes through the mist and the fog, finding himself back in the water again. And then after a bit of time, you're just kind of sitting on the bench as a mom, like Clip's like, Eris, do you see me? Do you see me? And you're like, you're doing great, honey.
And that's Clip's and Eris' relationship in one sentence.
Do you see
honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to take a moment because I would pick a bench probably close enough that I can see her, but kind of away from everyone else.
Yeah.
And just take a moment for myself and look up. And all I would say was, I acknowledge you.
Okay.
Good content.
I gotta get my percentile dice. Okay. You take a moment to go. I acknowledge you. Up towards the heavens, and you kind of share a moment. Who are you acknowledging, Eris?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, you take a moment to just say, I acknowledge you, and then you continue to sit on the bench, and you feel in this cold, sort of dark environment next to the water, you feel the warm breeze blow past the back of your neck, as if it's a comforting sort of breeze that sort of bites against the chill just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah. You are joined at the bench at a certain point. An individual sits down, looks to be a somewhat tall, skinny woman. She's got very tan skin, and she almost reminds you of Desbahai a bit in her features and mannerisms as she sits down at the bench beside you. She doesn't say anything, and she seems to just be studying people and sharing the bench with you.
Okay. Yeah, I just sit and take it in at the moment, and unless she would make any moves or anything.
No, she's not making moves. She's just kind of sitting there. She's looking out over the area and just sort of studying the animals. She doesn't seem to be focused on any one individual, but her hand is moving. I'll say this, and I'll give this to you for free. It's just going like this. Like it almost like it's performing the somatic components for a spell. But it just is in a continuous dance. The only thing about her that's moving is her hand, which is moving in different sort of symbols. She looks out over the water. She sits with you for a few minutes, her hand moving constantly, and then gets up and leaves the bench and continues to walk around the pond.
Is she still doing the same thing with her hand?
Absolutely. She continues to walk around the pond, looking at people, looking at things. but just constantly performing some sort of somatic dance.
Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
Sure. Let's head back to the race. To the ride. All right. The first scene of which you find yourselves in, Desbahai, Slowpoke, and Thistle, is a graveyard scene. This graveyard scene seems to be filled with various grave markers and gravestones. You are looked to be inside of a blackened swamp. Before you are various zombie-like creatures that are shambling about in the midst of the graves. As you pull up to this particular area, the cart comes to a complete stop, and a 30-second timer alights in front of you. And you hear a bell sound initiating that it is time to start. And saying that you are off to the races. Let me explain to you how this game is going to work. You have 30 seconds. 30 seconds in each area, giving you guys about 5 moves each to be able to do what you would like to do. If you are not back in the cart, all of your tickets are null and void. Any points that you have accumulated, any creatures that you have vanquished, you will find yourselves where all rides end, at the gift shop, waiting for your compatriots. Okay? You need to be in the cart, not on top of, not beside, not behind, not running along the track. You need to be inside the cart when that timer goes off, or your points will not be counted. You are being graded on uniqueness of kills and number of kills. So it's not about how many you do, it could be about how you do it. Okay? You will be treated to 3 scenes based on the path that you chose. This is the first of 3 scenes, okay? The 30-second timer goes off, which brings us to the top of the initiative order, Dez. Dez, the restraints on the car lift. You see that the area is teeming with undead, milling and moving about the space. Various zombies. There's some trees. Probably, like, the space is wide. You cannot see the back wall of this place. Some sort of guttural roar goes off in the far, far distance from where you are. That does not sound like any sort of zombie. What would you like to do?
It doesn't sound like any sort of zombie.
It does not. Right now you are in a swampy area that seems to go on infinitum.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find a place where I can run and sort of like whack as many zombies as I can with my axe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna whack one, whack twice on another, and then I'm gonna engage my flurry of blows and do 2 kicks on the third in the row.
As we switch over to Thistle, give me those 4 attack rolls, please.
Okay.
As I'm saying, Dez is just like, if I'm in this, I'm in it to win it, and just strolls into a clump of the nearest zombies. That is her turn. Thistle.
Okay. What I'm gonna do? So where she took a clump of zombies. Is there another clump of zombies?
Sure. I would say that they're kind of moving in small packs of 4 and 5, milling about the space.
Okay. Then you know what? Might as well use the big one right now. Oh gosh, we haven't had a rest, have we? Darn it. Did we have a short rest?
From when?
We didn't. Like between the bar place and this place.
From the bar place to this place, you have not specified, I want to take a short rest.
All right. So I still have 1, but like I'm gonna have to short rest.
Oh, I'm aware.
Wow. Okay.
Oh no. Don't like that one bit.
Well, then I'm going to turn undead, which I have recently learned is basically blow up undead.
Cool.
At my level. So I'm going to go into the nearest group, and this works for how long? 30 feet of me.
Oh God. You watch as as Thistle blows her nuke, walking into a clump of zombies and just sort of waving, grabbing her holy symbol and holding it aloft and saying, "Turn around!" And as the zombies look at her, she says, "Turn around!" And they all just explode. And she goes, "Whoops!" As 6 of their heads just go, 2 or 3 of them making their save and looking a little frightened, but not exploding upon impact. That is move 1.
That was fun.
Honestly, proud of her.
I have my numbers.
Hit me, Des.
One's a 24, 20, 18, and 18.
Yeah, those all hit. As Des, it's not a as powerful a, but instead it's more of a like punch. Your hand goes through one skull with the axe in hand as you slice into one, slice into the other, a kick to the one behind you, and a kick to the one in front as 4 of them drop to the ground.
Okay, cool. Do I have to roll damage at all?
No. These all have 1 hit point each. This is about what you are able to do. Slowpoke.
So are we doing all our moves right now, or just like one, or?
That was 1.
You're doing 1.
Cool. I just really want to try my new bow, so I'm just trying the new bow.
Okay.
Pull out this bow of Apollo. Is there zombies?
There are zombies. Quite a few of them.
I'll aim at a zombie.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
I'm also, while he's rolling, I'm going to do my touch of death. When I reduce a creature within 5 feet of me to 0 HP, I gain 11 temporary HP.
I don't think those stack. I think you gain 11, but you don't gain 44.
Yeah, that's okay, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do it. I'm about it.
I want some HP right now. Just in case.
So I'm just... Yeah. I'm going to find a zombie. I'm going to see if there's one behind it, just in case, like, I don't know, what if my attack's powerful enough it blows through a zombie, hits another one? That'd be fun. Let's just try.
I think you love... It's like you've thought about this. I would, if Adolf Hitler and Toby were in the same space, I would shoot Toby. Yeah. Okay, you shoot. You fire an arrow. Give me an attack roll.
All right, and I'm using my sharpshooter on this guy. So let's.
Oh God, slowpoke.
What?
It's not needed.
They have 1 HP.
Sharpshooter. That's 21.
20.
21 with sharpshooter.
Yeah, go ahead and, buddy, they have 1 HP. You're doing an extra 10 of damage plus the extra radiant damage. Thistle made her head explode. This one explodes like the Ark of the Covenant was just opened. As a spectral blast of light goes shooting out of your bow and hits this thing square in the chest, causing it to explode with a brilliant radiance that alights the area, causing all the zombies to congregate in your direction. As every zombie, what looks to be within a mile or so, begins to not shamble. You chose the hard difficulty, begins to run full tilt.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of zombies for me to take my second shot at.
You can certainly try, buddy.
Let's do this. No sharpshooter on this one, so that's another 21.
Sure. Without sharpshooter, another 21. Another zombie explodes with brilliant radiance. Doesn't seem to have the same oomph, but these zombies don't care. As now, surrounding you, Des, and Slowpoke and Thistle are 15 zombies each. Your terrain is now considered difficult. As they have all congregated in your direction, you've all made noise. But also because you've chosen the hard difficulty, your feet sink a little bit into the mud of the swamp.
Nice.
So...
What is shame I'm not there to summon 8 wolves.
You are currently playing with them.
Oh my god, you really should have like 300 wolves come out of this lake that are just being like, you've summoned us so many times. Every wolf you've ever summoned to die is here.
Rain doesn't affect me.
Yep. Difficult terrain doesn't affect you, so slowpoke, you don't begin to sink. I'm going to cut our time down to 18 seconds, not 30 seconds. So you guys are surrounded by this. Slowpoke, Dez, and Thistle. What would you like to do, Dez? You are up first.
What direction is the loud non-zombie?
The non-bee one would say.
I would say it's 45 feet in front of you.
45 feet in front of me. So if I fly there, I won't have to deal with the terrain, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna fly there.
Okay. There is a you move past the zombies. They're going to take some attacks of opportunity against you. All 10 of them. I'll say.
Don't.
Is there a way? Hang on, let me get to it. That I could. No, it's disengage, right? Where I can disengage and.
That you could use your action for. Unless you have the ability to use that as a bonus action to burn it.
It's a bonus action.
Yes.
It's a bonus action.
Then I will say you can use a bonus action to do this. You can use an action to activate fly and your movement to fly towards this thing.
Sounds good. That's what I'm going to do.
Dez takes off. You guys are surrounded by zombies. Dez just kamayamayas into the air and flies towards this noise. You find in front of you the largest demonic frog you've ever seen in your entire life. This is a Goliath frog. This thing is huge, and as it turns to you and opens its mouth, you see zombies pouring out of its mouth. Its long blackened tongue lolling on the ground, and it is burping up zombies out of its giant gargantuan mouth.
I should not use that spell so soon.
Guys, you're gonna want to see this.
You hear a voice shout from a distance away.
Okay.
I just have one quick question.
Giant frog!
Did you come up with this idea, or the little chameleons come up with this idea?
I came up with this idea.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a hell frog.
But they get it from somewhere.
Exactly.
Sure. Anyway, giant hell frog. That is Dez's turn. Thistle.
Is it a dematode?
Oh my god, that's really good.
Well, if whatever's over there is cooler than all these zombies, I'm gonna fly over there.
Okay. How are you doing that? You gonna take the attacks of opportunity?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the attacks of opportunity. Oh wait, before I do that though, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself and then fly away.
As a bonus action.
As a bonus action.
Okay.
Yep.
For your action, you're activating fly.
Yeah, but it's the never hurt fly. Oh, but it's still concentration.
It's still
So
concentration.
I lose Shield of Faith.
You would lose Shield of Faith.
So it doesn't matter. I shouldn't do Shield of Faith. That was dumb.
I love you so much.
Whatever.
Are you not doing Shield
I'm
of Faith?
not doing Shield of Faith. I forgot they were both concentration.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm rolling high. That's a nat 20.
Wow.
Okay, four of these.
Oh, but hang on. Armor, Dex, Magic. 15,
Hi, hello.
18. I know I don't have Shield of Faith, but I do have Wave.
You do have waves surrounding you.
But you did a nat 20, so it doesn't matter.
The nat 20 is going to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You are going to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
And I need a con save, please.
Nat 20.
You managed to maintain your concentration on fly as these zombies beat you with their fist, and you manage to fly over to where Dez is to see the hell toad, or the demon. Dematode.
The Dematode.
Dematode.
Cool.
Mr. Ribbits. No, let's go with Demon Toad.
No.
Demon Toad is better. That's on me.
The Croaker?
That's
Demon
good.
Toad.
Demon Toad. Slowpoke. Dez has left the building and Thistle has left the building.
Well, yeah, he yelled about something over there, so I'm gonna. Can I see? Do I see this frog if I look out in the distance?
You do not. You see a group of trees and things of that sort. You would see a floating Dez and Thistle being like, "Whoa, a Demon Toad!"
Okay. If I run over there, can I see it?
You could. You're going to take some attacks of opportunity against the horde of zombies surrounding you.
Oh, they're surrounding me, and they're like 1 HP little zombies.
1 HP little baby zombies.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna do a spell. I'm gonna do cordon of arrows, and I'm just gonna place so I can take 4 arrows and like magically shove them in the ground. And if they're within 30 feet of it, on their next turn, the arrow flies up and stabs them.
You make a mine?
What?
Yeah.
What is this called?
Cordon of arrows.
Cordon of arrows.
You make like arrow mines.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's not going to help you right this second.
No, it won't.
But you shove the arrows into the ground and just sort of like wave at them as they get closer and closer.
They have to succeed a dexterity saving throw. I should throw that out there.
They have to make a dexterity saving throw on their next turn, right?
Yeah, start the next turn. If they're within 30 feet of it, it'll just fly up and stab them.
I'm about this so much. All right, Slowpoke, that's your action. What are you doing with your bonus action?
For bonus, nothing.
Nothing.
You doing anything with your movement?
Nah. Actually, since these arrows will take out some zombies for me, I can just run. No, I'll still get the attack of opportunity. I'm
Staying. Got it. Let's do this as Dez and Thistle move over towards the Dematoad. Dematoad. Cal, you have entered into your first idyllic scene. This is not a simple like go through the park. This is another area where you can see, but Moswald, you kind of you don't recognize this. Cal definitely doesn't recognize this, but Moswald, this has a very similar theme to an adventure that you played once before. As you look about the space, you've kind of entered into a creepy graveyard of sorts. But as you take closer inspection upon the gravestones, there's an odd look to them. You do see individuals moving about the space, but they're shambling and they're kind of occasionally like looking over at the cart for the yellow track. They look undead, but they're sort of like wandering over towards the park. There's an odd look to the gravestones. But once again, the timer does go off. The cart opens, allowing you the same timer and situation that you would have once before. As one of the zombies looks over at you and goes, "Ah!"
Oh God. Oh no. I hate this so much. I can't. Oh my gosh. Can I
I'm here to eat your brains.
Oh my God.
Delicious brains.
You don't have a brain.
Okay, I don't even know what to do on this one. I pull out the pistol. I roll the ball out and I shoot it at him.
Okay. You take the bullet out, but you shoot the pistol?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's obviously like person.
Yeah. You fire the gun and he's like, "You got me!" Ah! And like hits the ground and it's like, "You truly are the chosen hero." And like hits the ground and like grabs his chest and like and then you see all of the other zombies turn around and be like, "Let's get them, guys!" And they start walking. One of them accidentally knocks over one of the gravestones, And you see him like hurriedly go and pick it up. It looks way lighter than a stone. Looks almost like it's made out of like a paper mache. And he picks it up and puts it down.
Yeah, that's why I hate it.
Where is he? Where is the boy?
What's Can I use a bonus action to bribe the employees for tickets?
I mean, oh my god.
Like, hey man, like, what's your wage? Like, what are you getting for this?
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
This is my new favorite thing. Amazing.
Oh. Persuasion? 28. 19 plus 9.
As the zombies begin to come forward, you go like, how much are you guys making? And you just see them all look, and like all of the zombies tend to look at the one that like you shot first, who's kind of like laying on the ground, and he goes, come on, man. Like,
just like,
what are you... We're just trying to do our job here.
Yeah, man, but like, if you just lay down, I'll give you a gold piece.
Okay, are you
Say
serious?
that. Yeah.
I mean, the most you can get on the yellow track is like 75 tickets.
Well, like, I'll give you 2 gold a point, 2 gold a piece. You give me 100, and we'll call it a day.
How about you give me 100 gold for 100 tickets?
Sounds good.
All right. And you see one of the zombies be like, Terry, what are you doing? He's like, shut up, Ralph. Like, let me do this. And it's like, I'm going to share with you guys. And they'll be like, you better, man. God, we can't. And he's like,
yeah, like 100 gold for 100 tickets? Yeah, sure.
Dude, he gets up and he like brushes himself off and he's like, Art is gonna kill you. He's like, Art doesn't have to know about this.
First and continue on.
He's like, just stay in the car for the rest of the ride, please. I'll let the other guys know.
Okay.
Don't get out. And he goes over to his pocket and pulls out like a wad of tickets and he like hands them over to you and he's like, the gold.
Yeah, I'll hand him a sack of 100 gold.
All right. You destroyed the undead. You are truly the best of all of us. Go now, mortal. Return to your realm. Haunt this place no longer. Hey, make sure you leave a good review, okay? On your way out.
Yeah, I'll talk to Boss Man.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Brain.
I never thought this is how tonight would go, but like, here we go.
In true bardic fashion, Cal, you are back in your cart as you go past, and you actually have a very pleasant ride throughout the remaining 2 scenes as employees wave to you and they hold up gold pieces and they just sort of like tip their hat and they come up to the cart and every time the cart stops, they're like, so where are you from? Like, how'd you get this much gold?
I actually helped like start this place. Like,
it's any time Indigo Chameleon has gone to Halloween Horror Nights where like this character comes out, they're like, rah! Wait a second. Didn't we work together? We did stilts. And she's like, oh my god. Hello, demonic clown. Like, yes. Okay.
This is all real. Like,
let's cut back to the final battle between Dez, Slowpoke, Thistle, and the Demon Toad. The Demon Toad is before you, and it's barfing up zombies. As it does, it's sort of hopping around. Dez, you are up first.
I'm gonna attack it with my axe.
Okay.
And one of them's gonna be a stunning strike.
A stunning strike. Give me an attack roll first to see if you hit.
Hang on. One of them is a 19, and the other is an 11.
The 19 hits. Wisdom save for the stunning strike.
The wisdom save should be DC 14.
He just misses with a 13. So as you roll damage,
save. It's a con save.
Oh, it's a con save.
Yeah. Not a whiz save.
No, it's a 15 for the con.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he makes the con save. He's not very wise, but he's built like a demotoad.
Yeah.
Like a giant toad spitting out zombies.
Super sturdy, except for the gastrointestinal problems.
Mr. Toad zombie ride. That's it.
Thank you, Cal. You got it, buddy.
You did it.
Got it. I was there. It was the pieces were together. I just put them together.
I think you'll like the next scene even now that you know the theme. You'll like the next scene even more.
So 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Cool.
Okay.
You doing anything with your bonus action?
I'm going back to the vehicle and then sitting down.
You're flying back. You hit the demon toad. The demon toad's like,
flying back. I'm flying.
You're strapped in the car. Thistle.
I pull out my book of misspells because I seem to remember this spell that looked kind of like fog cloud, but there was like an in it. So I'm casting frog cloud. I don't know exactly what it's going to do. I can think of several possibilities, but we're going to find out.
Billy regrets giving you that item.
What? It's time for the podcast within a podcast, the show within a show. Billy regrets. Every episode, we have another mini episode of Billy regrets.
I described employees on the ride, so like, come on now.
All right. What level is fog cloud?
I can check that real quick. I probably should have pulled that up ahead of time.
Fog cloud is a level 1 spell.
Is it?
What level
Sure.
are you casting frog cloud at?
Level 1. Sure. No, I'm not. No, what? I don't have a lot of spells left. I'm running out of spells. So, but hey, I've got a 3rd level slot. Let's do that. Let's do that.
They're like football-sized frogs.
Oh god, it's my worst nightmare.
As she goes, she's like, I know this spell. This is called. Somebody in the chat is like, frog cloud is a level 5 and it requires a verbal ribbit.
That's so good.
You are looking at your spell list and you go, oh, okay, I got this, and then you cast frog cloud. At first, you're not sure of anything manifesting, and then all of a sudden, the frog starts to get larger and larger and larger and larger. The little like thing in front of the mouth begins to like fill up and fill up and fill up, as erupting from it comes not a horde of zombies as you are used to it vomiting, but a veritable projectile vomit of frogs. A cloud of frogs, as you were, as this thing turns into a machine gun turret of zombie frogs. All of them, so many fill the space that the space is clouded over with frogs. But the frog lays on its side, just.
Can I use my 30 feet of movement back to the cart to use every bit of that movement to stomp as many of the zombie frogs as I can on the way to the cart?
You will not be able to fly, but you can use your 30.
That's okay.
Yes.
I'll drop fly.
Absolutely.
Stop.
You go running back over to the area. Yes. The two of you find yourselves, only if you jump your entire move.
You must hop for your life.
Hop for your life, dear. As you make your way over to the area and you sit down in your seat, the two of you are worried about Slowpoke, who just sort of waves at you guys. As he waves at you guys from a cloud of zombies, there is a as you see these lines of spectral energy cut through the horde of zombies around him, forming almost like a little mini dome as these 4 spectral arrows shoot off, doing radiant damage to a pack of zombies all around him. So Slowpoke, you have thinned the herd considerably. What would you like to do with your action?
I mean, since they made the terrain difficult for me, I'm gonna make the terrain difficult for them, and I'm gonna go to like. There's still a bunch of zombies, like a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Going to like a point, like kind of in the middle of like a group of zombies. I want it to be known I've never left the cart.
Okay.
In this group, I'm gonna cast spike growth, and it's just a 20-foot radius from that point is just spikes, and if they move, they get if they travel within that area, they take 2d4 piercing damage.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Every 5 feet they move. So you basically you watch as Slowpoke begins to cast, and the area becomes moved over with spikes, and this ride, Mr. Toad's demonic ride, turns into everybody's got a laughing place as a veritable briar patch spouts up around the cart and around the zombies. You jump back into the cart and begin to move as the bars slam down upon everyone. Because Slowpoke, did you ever leave?
No.
Yeah. So you're fine where you are. Everybody is in the cart. The cart begins to move into the second scene. I don't know if I can narrate and keep moving back and forth between these two scenes. So here's what I'm going to do. For the sake of the cast and the sake of everybody that's not currently in this ride, Dez, Slowpoke, and Thistle, you make your way through the other two scenes, the second of which the Doom Buggy turns into a small boat where you are fending off against pirate zombies.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
As you go through there, and then the third, which turns into a minecart ride, ending in a zombie Yeti at the very end of it.
Did the Yeti work?
The Yeti is still working.
No, we're playing D&D. Things are fantasy in this world.
The chat is like, yes, the zombie pirates who want to bite your booty. Boo. I love it so much. It makes my heart happy. You get DM inspiration in the chat. But you guys managed to make your way through. Desbahai, Slowpoke, and Thistle each getting the 100 tickets associated with your adventure. Cal, you also have 100 tickets, even though that was in... Oh.
Awesome.
Which was in... Oh, yeah, you accidentally got logged off. Hey, pal. So we'll get you back up and running so you can hear the audio. Right. Let's cut back to you, Eris and Clip. Clip, I think even you, after spending enough time by the water, are starting to realize that your friends are kind of eyeing it back to go back to wherever they came from the rainbow pond.
Yeah. I would love them.
Is there any way that I can like figure out what this lady is casting?
Sure. She after a bit of time, you're keeping an eye on her. She makes the rounds of the pond. Eris, Arcana check, please.
That I'm going to use Tides of Chaos for advantage.
Do it.
Okay, well, great. That was only a 10, so cool.
You managed to catch that it's a ritual. How about this? That she is maintaining over and over again. And you can assume that it is somehow involved in the magic keeping this pond open.
Got it.
Does that make sense? Like to keep this area?
I figured.
Yeah. As you're looking over at her, she kind of looks over at you and nods her head and smiles.
I want to cast message to her. Are you the reason that this is so beautiful?
She laughs a little bit. Her hand is still going, and you hear, I am.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for me and my beautiful friend over there. She needed this more than you realize.
She looks over at Clip, and she nods her head, and she says, funny story. Dahl actually built the park around the pond. Many people think that the pond came afterwards, but he built it around here. He saw what I was trying to do and decided it would make an interesting attraction for people. And I like seeing people happy, so I have extended it the same.
That's beautiful, and I appreciate it.
It is the only thing I took from my husband. So you're very welcome.
And who would that be?
A dumb old man who didn't know what he had.
I'm sorry, a dumb old man who.
Who didn't know what he had in me.
Well, time to go find this guy and kill him. I don't know what to tell you.
He's yes. So, but thank you. That's very sweet. What was your name?
Eris, and yours?
Seth.
Well, thank you. This was exactly what I feel like I needed after a little bit of some stress, but
Thank you for appreciating the vision. Where are you all staying at the park? Are you staying at the bed and breakfast?
we hadn't really talked about well, yeah, no, we did start out there, yeah. So that's where we're staying.
She looks at you and then co-conspiratorily leans forward a little bit and she says, she whispers in your ear, "You should come back when the park closes."
Okay. Why is that?
Just don't get caught.
Insight?
Okay?
Is she trying to do this for danger? Like, is this to...
with you.
Is that it?
I don't know, I feel like
That's a 14.
You incite with the 14 that she doesn't seem malicious in her intent.
Okay.
But there's something that happens here at the park after close.
Got it.
That is not for the general public. That seems to be invite only.
Okay, and she's talking specifically about the pond, is that right?
No, she's talking about the park.
Okay, got it.
You should come back to the park after. But she does sort of nod towards the pond as if to say, like, come here.
Okay. I will do my best. And is my group allowed to come with me?
She thinks about it for a second, and she you see her eyes flash a yellow color as if she looks over at Clip, and then her eyes once again move up, dart towards the house as you see Cal, Des, Baha'i, Slowpoke, and Thistle all making their way out of the house, each holding their roll of tickets. And she goes, "They're clean. They're welcome to join you."
Okay. I'll run it by them and see what they think.
Good.
They're my family.
No one else?
No.
She nods her head. This Real just got calcium. My brain bulb just went off. Great. So she nods at you. She smiles as she takes a small seed from out of her side pocket and seems to pop it into her mouth as she continues to walk around the space, moving her hands over and over again.
Okay.
It looks to be a pomegranate seed.
Oh, nice.
Darn it.
No.
And so that continues. Prize tent, people. What are we doing? You got tickets burning a hole in your pocket.
My arms.
In your arms. You are free to buy any of the motes that you like. The Lucky Charm is 100, and the 3 mystery items are as well.
Mystery Mouse Prize.
Mystery tool.
Go ahead and choose. Oh God. Go ahead and choose a 1, a 2, or a 3.
I will roll a d4 on that, and it's a 3.
The spectral form looks over at you and goes over to 3 and brings it over to you. And inside 3 looks to be a brown bag. And inside the brown bag is a veritable collection. It looks to be, roll a d20 for me.
7.
Roll it again.
7.
Looks to be 14 unique things. It is 14 facial hairs. Not facial hairs, like one is a mustache, looks to be a hand of a mustache. One looks to be a full beard. One looks to be like a looks to be like a Fu Manchu. One looks to be a sort of like 5 o'clock shadow on a strip. You find a piece of paper. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of a bag of mustaches and apostrophe other things. Upon placing one of these items upon a person, it becomes actual facial hair. Everybody within 30 feet of the individual has to make a wisdom save of 13. Otherwise, they spend their action going, man, that's some cool facial hair.
Everyone within 30
on the first time they see the individual with the facial hair. But once it's done one time, it's done. So like you go over to Slowpoke, you put a mustache on him in the middle of the battle. Everybody in the battle goes, makes a wisdom save and goes, man, that's some cool facial hair. And then it's over. It's done with.
Wait, that's visible though, so it's not just like you use the Fu Manchu once and then it's no longer no longer
use. It's
use.
done. The Fu Manchu is a part of that. They will have to shave.
I see.
The Fu Manchu off.
I'm putting on a mustache.
Okay. You reach into the bag and you are down to 13. You have a very fashionable. What does it look like?
Oh,
is it a very fanciful, like swirled at the end?
Oh yes, it's very like think like 18th century British, like very.
Slowpoke, Des, Cal, give me wisdom saving throws, please. You can also choose to purposely fail this wisdom saving.
I nat 20'd it, but can I fail?
Yep. Des?
Is this in?
I got a 16. I wouldn't fail. I wouldn't.
Type in mustache.
Oh my god, it's already loaded.
It's already GTP
on mustache.
A mustache?
Thanks,
yeah, but you have 14 of them.
Got it.
Mustache that becomes real when worn. Needs to be shaven or eventually grows back regardless of the victim's species or sex.
Okay.
She doesn't shave it off, it just grows.
There's something I have to say to
You have 3 more. Slowpoke, what did you get?
There's just something I have to say to Thistle.
Okay.
That is one really cool mustache.
Thanks.
Cal?
Really cool mustache.
It's not.
I'm gonna use these up so fast.
You're gonna use them up real fast. All right. Thistle now has a.
Oh my gosh! It put it into my inventory 10 times.
Slowpoke, Des, and Cal. You each have 100 tokens. What would you like to buy?
Mystery box.
Mystery box. 1 or 2?
1.
Oh crap. Okay. So inside this is a captain's hat, Cal.
Stop.
Hey.
I'm all for it.
As you take the captain's hat out, says, "Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of a captain's hat of disguise. The hat of disguise allows you to change your appearance with the magical item as long as the captain's hat is visible. So, if Cal wants to, for the time being, he can walk around, look up Hat of Disguise on D&D Beyond. But I believe it's the disguise self spell at will, just ad nauseum.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is cool.
Hat of disguise. Here we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dez and Slowpoke.
I want the rabbit's foot.
The Lucky Charm.
Yeah.
Okay. You grab the rabbit's foot, and the rabbit's foot, like I said, as you hold it in your hand and you begin to concentrate on it, it zips in and out of existence occasionally. Dez, you have access to a luck point. So basically, this is an aspect of the lucky feat. With this lucky charm, you get a luck point. Once you use it, you cannot use it again for 7 days in game. Okay.
Okay.
But the rabbit's foot will disappear, and then after 7 days will reappear again.
Okay, cool.
Got it?
Got
Yeah.
a luck point and a ring of wishes. Look at you stacking up on those points.
I'm good at
Forgot
picking.
she has a ring of wishes.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Slowpoke.
I mean, I guess everyone else took the like random things that they didn't know what to do, what they would be, and they took a risk. And we have these other items that like we know what they do. So I think I'm going for the mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery box.
Slowpoke. Eris, I'm gonna say this. You and Clip would have seen them coming out of this area, okay?
Mhm.
And you would kind of wander over. You see Thistle has a really nice mustache.
It's a really nice
Wow,
mustache.
it's a really nice facial hair.
Oh wait, what is it? What's save? Is it Dex?
You don't have to make it because it's everybody that immediately after she puts the mustache on.
Oh,
but
cool. Yeah.
but-
Wow, that's a really cool mustache.
Last name effects.
Cal has a captain's hat.
And he's gone back to what he was on the in the bazaar.
Oh, so you're in human form?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal is human. For the most
Okay.
part. Dez has a rabbit's foot that she's attached to her person that seems to be blinking in and out of existence. And Slowpoke, the spectral form looks at you for a second and goes over to the final box. She goes over to it and undoes the lid. And inside is a bone box. Okay? Inside of this bone box, which is opened, you see that there's a closed lid for it. Looks to be half of a deck of cards.
Only half?
Congratulations. You have stumbled upon the ancient deck of many things. The deck of many things brings woe, and it brings power to those that seek it.
Did you hear that, guys? Whoa!
I am so glad I didn't get this.
I don't think you know that. I don't think you understand what that means.
I'm also so glad.
Every single one of you, give me a history check, please. Whether you're proficient in history or not.
Nope.
Oh, that's actually not.
1 for Cal.
15.
I'm looking
15.
pretty again.
17.
17. Clip, what did you get?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, 15, 17. Des?
18.
Okay. 18. I'll say this. 15 and up.
Damn.
You know what this is. Kids have talked about this. Okay? This deck of cards winds up in the weirdest places. The first place that it was found was inside the Never Tree. The second place it was found was inside the belly of a guardian that was slain by Hook. The third place it was found was in a discarded lantern that was used to hold Tinkerbell. This deck of cards is a very powerful set of cards, and it travels never, finding itself in places, weird places. The card has the ability to do certain things. It has the ability to summon forth a knight that will follow the person who draws the deck. It has the ability to grant wishes. It has the ability to present magical items, to level up an individual past the group. It also has the ability to summon the Avatar of Death that attacks that particular player. It has the ability to take the soul of that individual, shove it into a rock. That rock goes to the 9 hells, and it is yeeted away, and the group has to use a wish spell in order to track that rock down. And figure out a way to get to the 9 hells to get it back. So Slowpoke.
We should get rid of these cards. This is not a good idea.
So does this look like the good half?
Here is how the deck works. And when I'm so glad Thistle did not pull this item.
I'm so glad this will
We've
pull
been
this
trying to
item.
figure out how to go to hell. Like, that's what happened.
I pull all of them.
You decide. You can flip through. You can't flip through the cards. The cards seem stuck in the bone container. So you can't look at them and compare like, oh, it's okay. These are all the good ones. It's half the deck. It's half. You shut the box, you go to your closest Walmart, and you demand a full refund.
Rip off.
You decide before you draw how many cards you're going to draw. And that's how many the box releases into for you to be able to draw. There are some that allow you to go like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, you're fine. Like, it ends here. Like the one that banishes your soul. There are other ones that do good things. There are some that just basically take all of your possessions and disintegrate them.
As someone who's played with the deck of many cards in a Billy game, it's great fun.
Is it? I don't think that definition of fun is the same as my fun.
I introduced this because it was always going to be here at the fair. And I needed to... It was in Wonderland as well. They chose to walk away from it. But Slowpoke, it's currently in your possession. Okay?
Okay.
I could have gotten.
You could have gotten
I'm
this.
so glad. I'm so glad.
You were one number away from
Oh my
getting
god, someone is pulling cards.
It's Cal with a 50-50 chance.
Wait, say that again, Jaden?
Well, from the 3 people who drew mystery boxes, I wouldn't want to see the deck of many things end up in any of their hands.
Hey!
Des, you could always offer to trade.
No! I'm not.
I don't want it either.
So it's in a box.
It's in a box.
Oh, God.
Do you want a bag of mustaches?
Right. Is it like a deck of cards box where like you open the top flap, you can see the cards?
You can see the tops of the cards. You can see the tops of the cards. Like, you cannot look like they are held in place magically.
Okay. But I can see the cards. It's not the box.
You can see the cards in the box. Think bone box. When you open the lid, you see the cards in, and there's enough room for you to say, I'm drawing 3 cards as you touch the deck. And as you say, I'm drawing 3 cards, those 3 will release from the lock that is held on them.
Okay. Can I drop the deck on the ground and blast it with my arrows?
You can. You drop the deck on the ground and begin to shoot at it. Whatever magic protects this deck of cards, the arrows don't do anything to it. Magical items cannot be destroyed except by very, 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 very specific circumstances.
Uh,
Come on, man.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not that
right.
bad. As someone who's
Okay.
lived on chance all their life, take it. It's fine.
I can't destroy it. So I put it in my bag.
Got it.
The second most safest place.
Garrison, the next time we see each other, I have the deck. Okay?
Oh god. Oh.
Okay.
You are not going to be able to look, but the cards are ready. It is half of the deck of many things. The cards I picked at random. But they are ready to be drawn should you ever decide that is the only situation that you can do.
All right.
Okay?
Great people for fun.
Okay.
All right.
Stop. You know what'd be fun? Draw the card.
You all share stories with one another about your experiences. And the park begins to come to a close.
You don't? You walk away?
No.
Are you with us?
No.
Okay. Didn't show yourself.
It is a Clip and Cal have a very intimate conversation off to the side. Are you coming with us? Yeah, no. Wait, what? As fireworks begin to go off in the night sky, and many people begin to move away from the park, and some of them make their way over to the bed and breakfast.
I would pull the group before we headed, or like I guess outside of it,
Okay.
the bed and breakfast, and mention the opportunity that Seth gave me.
We can go back after it closes? Yes.
She said we have to not get caught.
Okay.
It didn't seem malicious from what I could tell.
Okay.
But she also said, whenever I asked if everyone could come with me, she said that you were quote unquote clean, which I don't know
I am
how
not.
I feel
I smell
about
really
that.
bad right now.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if she meant like smell good, clean.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it meant,
Isn't that
but
a good thing if we're all clean? Could it be?
it's also very judgy. So, it's a tad bit judgy. So,
judging that sound.
You're being real judgy right now.
It was very judgmental.
While everybody leaves the park, I would like to take a short rest.
You head back to your rooms, and I will say this. You all settle down for a short rest there. If any of you would like to roll hit die, you can do that, but all of you go ahead and mark down a short rest. You all do not have to go to the park. If some of you want to go, and some of you do not, that's fine.
Sure.
But around when things have quieted down, I would imagine some of you are we all going?
I'm going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
You all are clever enough and fast enough and have movement well enough to be able to make your way to the park, and I would say unseen. As you make your way over to the park, you carefully avoid the light security that is there guarding the entrance and things of that sort. As individuals walk throughout the park after close, you make your way over to the pond. where as you are walking towards it, that light fog is coming in, and you hear a familiar voice say, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Who are you?
Familiar's voice?
Out of the fog walks a very familiar-looking Aarakocra. As John,
Familiar what?
a familiar Aarakocra, bird person.
Joe Bird.
As John Bird walks out of the fog surrounding the lake. He looks a little bit.
No.
He looks
Oh, no.
looks a little bit taller. He is not dead. He is not
Okay.
Spectral.
Oh God!
Rising.
But he rushes over towards the group and is like, "Oh my God, guys, hi!" and is just like and is hugging people and he's a little taken aback by Eris.
That's fair.
As he doesn't quite recognize you, but hugs all of you and says, "Are you here? Are you part of the rebellion?"
Ooh.
The what?
Excuse me?
And I.
Oh, yeah. Persephone, she's helping us kill the mimics.
Yes, I would like to be a
Yes,
part of
we are.
this.
Yeah. Yep.
And you see John take you by the hand and lead you towards a group of 6 or 7 individuals that are gathered near the lake. And as you begin to walk forward towards them, that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. As you have stumbled upon the rebellion to stop all the mimics, and suddenly her saying, "You're clean," makes a lot more sense to you.
Yes.
At least we know we're all not mimics now. That's a good thing.
That's fair.
That
That's fair.
sounds like something a mimic would say.
So thank you.
Persephone, 'cause I'm queen.
Persephone's like, hold up. Everybody but this one. You're a mimic.
Surprise!
That would have been terrifying.
Everybody that hung out in the chat tonight, thank you so much. Grim, Real, thank you so much. You are such a welcome, and thank you for the bits. Thank you for being active in the chat. You are such a welcome presence here at Indigo Chameleon. We are so grateful for you. For everybody that donated subscriptions, Alcaboose Bender, I'm looking at you. Thank you. Tay Summer, Ferd, 1992, 12 for 10 cents. All of you lovely chat people. We're going to go raid another channel right now. We love you, Indigo Connect. And hey, are we ever going to stop fighting mimics?
Never. I mean, unless we kill them all, right?
Hopefully,
And
eventually.
hopefully, that's the name of the show. Hopefully, eventually. Bye, guys.